Hey, everybody, welcome to Project Next. We are doing a mental fitness today. Today's episode is going to feel different because it is different. This isn't your standard political interview. This is an open, honest, and deeply human conversation between friends. Blythe Potter is running for Indiana Secretary of State, taking on Diego Morales, and now facing a new challenge from within her own party as Beau Bye, part of the well-known Bayh family in Indiana Democratic politics, enters the race. He's young, well-funded, and backed by establishment ties. But Blythe's campaign isn't built on money or name recognition. It's built on ideas, heart, and a belief that Indiana can do elections better. In this conversation, we're not just talking politics, we're talking mental fitness, leadership, and what it means to stay grounded and hopeful in a system that can wear you down. We'll talk about what Blythe and I agree on, where we don't, and why those differences matter less than the shared goal of making this state a fairer, more functional democracy. So if you've ever wanted to hear a political conversation that's not about sound bites, but about understanding, this is that episode. Welcome to Project Next, Blythe.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being on here. I love you, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing well. I love you too. I'm honored to be here. It's always an interesting question to answer. How are you? Because there's not just an answer. Like part of me is like on this high, like this is amazing. We're organizing, people are moving, people are talking. But we're also in a crisis, like the biggest crisis of our lives. And as a millennial, our entire existence has been one giant crisis, particularly economic and political. So
yeah,
I don't know. I'm existing.
Like,
still fighting the good fight.
Like, I'm so happy with my marriage. I'm married to just a phenomenal human being I love so much. And I have 3 beautiful children. And we are so lucky we can afford groceries and our bills, and we can tackle our problems as they come up. And I'm so blessed. And then I'm so worried about my neighbors in Palmyra. I'm so worried about people hurting in Indiana. I know too much about Indiana state politics and about how Indiana law is hurting Hoosiers. And so I have to balance. I push, I try to make things better, but I also got to be a good wife and mom. And I think me and you are very similar in that battle.
Yeah. It's hard to be present and like very intentionally put my phone down, play with my daughter, spend time with my partner, self-care, but also like not burying my head in the sand, which I mean, I would really prefer to do because it's much easier.
I agree. Sometimes I'm a
There's
little
less
bit like when somebody says they don't use social
effort.
media. When one of my friends is like, I'm taking a break from social media, I'm like, jealous.
I know, right? Like my small business cannot afford a break from social media. My campaign cannot afford a break from social media. Yeah. It's a lot. It's a tightrope we're balancing.
Yeah, and I've always told you, and this still stands, girl, on your bad mental days when you were struggling, you text or call me.
I will.
Because what you're doing is important and we need you mentally fit. So I got your back.
Yes.
I think one of the many reasons I love you is we are very similar in our goals for this state. And we are both really driven, smart women around the same age. I'm 44. How old are you?
43.
43, so we're about the same age.
Oh, probably 43 and a half now. Like I was saying something yesterday, like it was talking about like our elders, and it's really been cool to see some young people get involved, but we still have a lot of our elders engaged in what's happening. Like I'm usually the youngest person at protests and rallies. And then I was like, no, I have a good idea of what I want to be when I'm in my mid 40s. And I was like, oh, I'm there. Just kidding. 50s.
Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, so I met you when you were running for county council in the last election.
Yes, last year during IDEA, I think.
I think I found you on Instagram or something. I knew of you and your social media presence before I met you in person, which I believe was the delegate convention in the summer when we met for real first time.
No, we met at the parade, and
that was the no, we met before that because I wasn't in Indiana Rural Summit yet at the convention. Your husband told me I should get on it, and I wasn't on it yet. So that was the first time, the delegates. And then we met again.
Dude, the convention is a total blur for me.
Well, I mean, you're meeting thousands of people, of course. And
but it's also such a busy day. Yeah, it was
the
chaotic.
Jasper parade with Indiana Rural Summit, because for people that don't know, Blythe's wonderful husband, Michael Potter, ran for state house, and we
Mhm.
joined up in the Indiana Rural Summit together. He's running again, and I'm running again. So we're still in the Indiana Rural Summit together. I really like your husband a lot. He's a really
I do
wonderful,
too.
lovely
He's a good
human, and I'm
man.
glad that you guys are
Mhm.
together. Um, yeah, so I'm happy for you. But yeah, so that's how we met. And then we just dove right in. We just dove right in. I think we connected when we were trying to help Destiny become
Mhm.
elected for Indiana State Dem Chair, which did
Yes.
not happen, which I am still upset about, but I will move on and keep working with the Indiana
I
State
mean,
Democratic Party.
but
I mean, it is what it
I
is.
think that's a good thing to highlight
Yeah.
because it's important to know in politics we lose, particularly Democrats in Indiana. We don't get our way a lot. We didn't get
Nope.
our way in that.
Nope.
But we do accept the reality and we still support the state party.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I hope people are recognizing that like while we had very strong opinions and opposition to things, we're still all in.
Yeah. I think that's really important because in this state of the world in our country where division is highlighted,
Mhm.
people like to gossip and like shine a light on problems and controversy. It's
Yeah,
important to realize, oh, we wish Destiny would have been chair. We will work with Karen Talion. We will do all we can to push Indiana forward because our children and ourselves deserve better.
yeah,
So like I think we need to just stay true to that. We can disagree. We can have an open, honest conversation about it, and we can still work together. And
yeah.
I'm doing that right now with Adam Dickey, District 9 chair, who is also president of the New Albany City Council. Yesterday, I did a show highlighting some things that I believe are wrong, and he's in the wrong on that. And
Mhm.
so it was hard for me because I'm friends with him. He gave his statement, which I read on the show. I invited him on the show. He's too busy. Get that. He's doing a lot. And it's like, well, we just wear different hats. You
Yeah,
know, I'm a Democrat candidate for state house. I'm also running this media company and I'm also trying to save my community and unite and save Indiana. And so it's like, I just always put people first. The people in New Albany deserve better than what's going on with this situation with the dam.
mhm.
And I just had to highlight it. So I think you get how to do that, and I'm really proud of you. But I just want to acknowledge that is not something our society kind of knows how to do. We don't
Oh
really know how
no.
to like highlight, hey, you could be better in this situation, even though we're on the same side.
Well, civil civic discourse and communication in general, nonviolent communication specifically, we aren't taught that, right? Like from a young age, particularly when we're modeling the traditional Hoosier parenting style, the parents always right because I said so. Parents aren't always right.
No, sometimes I'm wrong.
I'm wrong all the time.
Yeah, me too.
um, and I think that mentality has caused a lot of this problem because we don't listen to anyone who we don't deem authority. And even if they are authority, we aren't our opinions often are not heard. And that's it's very problematic. I think that's part of what's gotten us here.
Yeah, the culture has really hurt us a lot. The divisiveness, the unwilling to hear anybody's side if they don't agree with us 100% of the time, and I think that's really stupid. That's why I wanted to have you on the show for many reasons. You and I don't always agree on the best way to do this, but we always help each other. Like I will
Mhm.
always help you. It
Same.
doesn't matter whether I agree with 100% of what comes out of your mouth or you agree with 100% what comes out of my mouth. I am your friend and I love you and I trust you and I value your intelligence, your empathy, your wisdom. Like you have a lot in there in that brain of yours and
Yeah,
you have a drive that I think I have too. I think we have similar drives.
we
Not
do.
everybody has it. And so I think that we can kind of model today in this show. We're going to talk about things we agree on and things we disagree on. And I kind of want to model how do we do this? How do
Mhm.
we do this when our society, our culture, the news, the algorithms push discourse, push anger and division like it's candy because they make money off of it? How do we model better so that our children get better? I
Yeah.
mean, I'm fighting for my 3 children and for everybody else's. I think that's what you're doing too, right?
Mhm.
Indiana's sort of a dumpster fire. We're one of like, you talk to Michael, your husband, about environmentally. Indiana is one of the worst states in the country with our environmental laws.
Yep.
Whenever there's trains full of like toxic sludge, they go and stop in Indiana and dump their toxic sludge from other states into our state because of
Mhm.
our laws. It's like,
Yep.
wait a minute. And we're going to raise our children here and play in the creeks and the rivers and the streams and fish, eat fish. It's like, are we going to breathe in this air? What are we doing? So
Well, that's the whole problem with the way things are set up right now. We look at capital gains, we look at income, the revenue, what's best for the people in power or the top 1%, and we don't look at it like a good leader or what I would consider a good leader. And a lot of this comes from my military training. You are only as strong as your weakest link.
can you tell me your military training really fast? I know you are of
Yeah.
the military, but I don't know what it is.
I was in the military police corps. I was in the reserves for 10 years, and I was deployed as a bodyguard for General Casey in Iraq in 2005. So I was there for a year. But what that means is, like, think of a family unit. All right, you've got your parents, you've got the parents, and you've got three children. Well, if your youngest is an infant, by default, that's your weakest link. So when you make decisions, you make sure that everyone is cared for, but you also have to make sure this little one is supported. And sometimes that means that one gets more attention. Sometimes that means you're spending more money on them. But that doesn't mean you care less about the others. They just need more support in that moment or for that part of their life. And that is where I think our leadership really fails politically, and in other, even in businesses, right? Like, we are not, and I'm not saying we need to cater to them. I'm not saying we need to, like, baby them, but they have to be considered.
They need
If
more support in that moment
yes.
than some other people that don't. So maybe we should support them so that later on in life, if we don't support them, they're going to need more, and that's going to cost the taxpayer more money. So if we
It
support them when they need
could,
it, they
but
live a
it's also
better,
paying it
healthier life,
forward.
and then
Yeah.
it pays off in the end, because then these are functioning people in our society that can then go out and help others. Yeah,
Well,
there's a
but
real cultural
we're
shift.
teaching them, like, they are a product of that environment. We are teaching them that our social programs or stances or issues or whatever um, cared enough about me growing up to, let's pretend I was on food stamps when I was growing up because my mom was a single mom, which isn't true. But let's say that's the case. Well, we're having this conversation as you're growing up, but then you realize the value of paying your taxes or supporting organizations that support families like that or programs like that. And I think that's where we don't pay much attention to that, particularly our current elected Republicans and historically our elected Republicans in Indiana. Um, Us peasants are the normal people, the average population, middle class and below. We're not at the forefront of these decisions
No.
ever.
Yeah, and
So
I
that
also
that
just
is
see
what needs to change.
the constant gaslighting and bullying of the people in power,
Hmm.
blaming us for things that's their fault.
Yeah.
And they're so good at just like blaming the victim and then pretending they're the victim, and it's just like narcissism 101, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And we have to kind of step back and identify it and say, "Wait a minute. This single mom trying to raise her children and work a job when she can't, when preschool is too expensive or daycare is
Hmm.
too expensive for her to work, she's not the problem."
Yeah.
And people want to be like, "Well, you shouldn't be a single mom. You shouldn't have made those choices." And it's like, have you ever messed up in your life? Or
It's not
maybe
even
it's
messed up.
not her
People
fault.
die, people
Yeah,
lose
maybe
jobs,
it's not her
people get
fault. She's a
sick.
single mom. And
Yeah.
and so just the constant blaming of people that are suffering, I want to throw up over it. I'm so sick and tired of it. And I just think we need to very quickly shine a light on who's the people that are actually the problem. And right now in Indiana, the way our system is set up, the wealthiest people are
Mhm.
getting the benefits, and we keep harming and taking away money from the people that need it the most.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, so
Because
let's talk.
apparently fiscal responsibility in Indiana means a helipad for our governor.
Yeah, I want to talk about that a little bit. I want to talk about why you're running for Secretary of State. I want to talk a little bit about Diego Morales, the current Secretary of State, and some of the things that we can prove that he has done, because he has done some shady things that have been proven. They've been stories in newspapers, fact checked. We're not making up allegations here. I
Yeah.
want to talk about that. And I want to talk about what you want to do if you are elected as Secretary of State, which, man, I heard you on, I think it was Josh Lowry's podcast.
Mhm.
You listed off things you want to do if you are Secretary of State. And I was like, oh, she needs to say this 10 times a day on 10 different
Oh
platforms.
yeah,
That's what
I've been thinking about
everybody's
this for a long
that's what
time.
everybody needs to know, your plans, because let me
Yeah.
tell you, they're fantastic. So let's get into it. Why did you step up and try to you went from county council, one county, running for that in a very Republican county, which we share that, to a state race.
Yep.
And you're being challenged by by someone from the Bayh family. So
Yeah.
we'll get to all of that. So why did you decide to run for Secretary of State?
I know I can do this job and I can do it better than anyone historically has. But I want to give you some backstory to that, because it's not just like I didn't win this race, I'm going to do this. So I actually never wanted to be involved in politics.
Yeah,
There
me
have
neither.
definitely been many times I swore I would never do it, and we moved. We're now in Barkersville, Indiana. I own a small business here, and when we moved here, we had to rezone our business to be able to have a salon and spa. So I was on the receiving end of politicians and policy, and being on that receiving end then in 2018 was really cool. I was like, this is awesome. These town councilors are cool. Like, I'd never seen this. I'd never been in that space before. And then interacting with them over the years. But then also I had my daughter, I found out I was pregnant in December of 2019, which, COVID baby, pandemic baby. So then I'm walking around the town with my daughter, like, why can I not get on this side of the street to the other side of the street where there's sidewalks safely without having to cross 50-mile-an-hour speed zones in 4 lanes of traffic? That's kind of weird for a growing town. And then I would start to notice these things, right? Again, an end user of my taxpayer dollars. Well, then just so happens the county chair for Johnson County Democrats posted in a group I was in, hey, we have spots open on this fall's ballot. This is in 2023. Is anyone interested? I was like, oh, fuck, I'm in.
You're
I
fine.
wasn't
Keep going.
supposed to drop that bomb. I was like,
It's
oh,
okay. It
I'm
happens.
interested in that. If nothing else, I can present a platform with good information and good ideas. Let's see what people think. Let the people decide. And so that's what I did. In 2023, I ran for county council. And what I did is you should have seen my platform. It was hundreds of bullet points, and I had it very well thought out. We could implement this. This is how we can do things. Well, it was 3 people at large, incumbent Republicans against me.
Oh.
I got
So
really
even though
close
you
to
had all
winning.
these great plans for the county, that I
That
would
was for
think the
the
majority
town.
of people, or for the town, the
Yep.
majority of people
So,
would like those.
yep. And it was an
People are
off,
just going and voting straight party Republican.
but they
Because
couldn't
I
because
have,
it was all at large, and that was the only
oh,
thing
so
we were
they
voting
actually had to go
for.
back and pick the people.
Yep.
Do you know what
But
percentage you
I
got in
got
that election?
33% of the vote.
Hey, that's not bad.
I did really well. So well that the Republicans were calling people at 5:55 p.m. to get them to come vote. So I was like,
Oh,
okay, I didn't win, but I didn't lose.
I
Because
didn't know
Sarah,
you
I
were
can
so
tell
close.
you, I was that close. We've gotten crosswalks added in areas I wanted crosswalks added. They're doing the work because of the platform I put forward.
That's why, you
So
guys, that's why we run for
that's
something.
that's why we run for
Even if you're
something.
not planning on running, you push the
Yep.
issues and you make them do better.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I did the
Yeah.
same thing last year, but for the county. For the county had a master trail plan approved in 2019, and we have done this much with it. So I was like, okay, here's my platform. And again, we lost, but people listened, and it gave people a reason to come out and vote. And last October, when Diego Morales, our current Secretary of State, purged, completely eliminated with no notice, no warning, and no way to change it, 585,000 voters from our voter rolls, I was pissed. I'm sorry. I was mad.
You can say that. You're fine.
I
We're
was angry.
PG
I
13,
mean,
maybe?
really,
PG.
my anger as an end user of these policies is what fuels this, right? Because that's how I've always looked at things. Well, we can, and anyone who's ever been involved with me in a sorority or the philanthropic sororities or organizations I've been, I'm like, this could be done better. This is how, like, that's how I've always functioned. And that's part of the reason I started my own business, because I knew I could make things function better as an end user because I have been the employee. So anyway, last October, and my campaign manager, she's like, you should run for Secretary of State. I was like, oh, hell no. I am not running a statewide race. And then I
Yeah,
got
because
to
that's so
thinking
much
about
work.
it.
You're driving all across the state. I mean, it
Well,
is
but I was
so
going to
much.
anyway. So before I decided officially to do this, I'd started it, the election happened. It was devastating. And I started to see this culture of Hoosiers all over the state with no political affiliation. We were worried. So I started a Discord group. We've got like 500 people across the state on it, just to talk about like what events are up and what are we worried about. And I got to thinking, okay, well, we've got this many people just from TikTok. I'm going to meet with all the county parties. I'm going to use my social media platform. I'm going to help grow their county party pages because a lot of people don't know that county Democratic parties exist in Indiana. I'm going to
I
help
didn't
get
know when I first got involved. I
same,
didn't know there was the Harrison
same,
County Democrat Party. I had no clue. Somebody had
same.
to tell me on a podcast, a national podcast. It was Pod Save America saying, get involved with your county party. I was like, there's
Yeah.
county parties?
Yeah, I found out when my chair then asked about people being on the ballot. I was like, Johnson County has a Democrat. This is
Yeah,
laughable.
I had
We're
no
a
clue. Right.
red county.
Right.
So my goal was initially, I was calling it Connect in Blue, Connect IN, Indiana Blue. And I was going to literally try to connect blue dots around the state. I'm going to check out some parks. I'm going to meet with local party people if they will. I'm going to get people to follow their social media pages so I can help them grow. And then that helps the state party grow, and it helps the state party get better recognition too. Because when all's said and done, social media is a really great free tool for this, right?
Oh,
So
yeah.
then
And
I
you're
was
good
like,
at
well, if I'm
that.
going to be
You're really
driving
good at
across
that.
the state, I should probably talk to people about how do we increase voter turnout? Because voter turnout sucks in Indiana. We're 50 out of 51. And then I was like, you know, if I'm doing this, I want to really do this right. So I started looking at how can I, in a nonpartisan, very objective way, reach Hoosiers all over the state of Indiana and just try to let them know how valuable their vote is. Your voting is a civic right. It should be a human right in 2025, in my opinion. And it's the easiest way to protest, right? It is the easiest, kindest, simplest way to protest. Um, and we've been losing our rights, especially as women or people in the global majority. So I got to thinking, I got on the Secretary of State's website, which I've been to many times. I'm a small business owner. I have been an end user of InBiz
Does
websites
he
for
still
my
have,
LLC.
is his face, is his
Oh, it's
still
everywhere.
up on
It's everywhere.
everything? It's
Yep.
everywhere. He really
I'm an
likes
end
his
user of the
picture.
Secretary. Yeah. I'm an end user of the Secretary of State's website. So again, as a citizen, not just a taxpayer, but someone who uses these websites, I know good ways to change these websites because I have
Oh, you do.
navigated them many times over the last decade. But the number one job is overseeing the elections. If you want to improve voter turnout, you freaking tell people about elections. Does our Secretary of State do
And
that? Does he invite us to vote? No,
it seems
he
like he's doing the
doesn't.
opposite. It seems like he's
He
trying to
is.
make it harder to vote, a
Hmm.
lot of
He
rules.
is.
It's very confusing.
Yep.
We don't understand. I've had times where I would post because I'm do the social media for Harrison County Democrats and I also run my own race. So I'm doing a lot of pumping out how to register to vote. And I noticed before the election I could post the website how to vote and it would have a pretty picture. And then I noticed they took away the picture and made it a flat gray screen so it wasn't as attractive. I was like, wait a minute. And then I
Hmm.
contacted them and told them about it. I was like, do you know, is this a, and then they never contacted me back. And I was like, oh, I think this is intentional.
It is.
Let's make it as hard as possible, as boring, as dull, instead of making it very easy.
Yeah.
And that's one of your platform things. Don't you want to make it so as soon as someone turns, is it 18 and you can vote,
18.
that
So
they're
we're
registered to
gonna
vote in
ease
Indiana?
Hoosiers into this. And this is one thing I'm doing too. When I go to these counties, I'm listening to what people say, and I am hearing their ideas. So my platform is modifying a little bit. So my first
Because you're
goal,
listening to what the people want. I
yeah,
really
well,
like
and
that girl.
also I'm not the expert in
Yeah, so
Indiana.
you're learning as you
I'm
go.
talking to
Oh,
people who have been in politics longer than me, and they're like, "Hey, Blythe, that's not the way to do it." Okay, I'll change it.
Tell me, teach
It's
it to me.
not my
So
way or the
you are willing
highway.
to listen and learn
Yeah.
and change to meet the needs of the state.
Yes.
I wish, I wish the people in power in our
Yeah.
state would just do that, Blythe. Just do
If
that.
they
But
would, we would not be here.
no, we
We
wouldn't
wouldn't
be
be
here.
here. So the first thing I want to do is to make sure that all registered voters have information about the elections. So anyone who is currently registered when I take office, 6 months before the election, receiving to their mailbox, and then they can opt into email or inbox stuff for digital, a pamphlet or a booklet about the election. Where will they vote? When is the election dates? When is early voting? How do you get an absentee ballot? Who's on your ballot?
So
What
you
is
would
up to run
mail
for?
all the information they
All
need
the
to know.
information. Yep. And every candidate, when they sign up for any race, municipal and above, they will have 3 sentences or 500 words. Tell me what you want to do. Let's tell people. That helps grassroots people like me. It takes money out of
So
politics for
right.
everybody. But
Yeah.
also, I want to make it so that us municipal candidates, if you've ever run as a municipal candidate, it's hell because everything is actual paper.
Mhm.
Not like our state candidates where I can just go online like, oh my God, I can put my expenses here. This is the easiest thing on the planet.
Yeah,
I want to make
it
sure
is
our
easier to do. I've
counties,
done both. I've done county
yep.
council, I've done
I
state house.
want
State house
our
was easier.
Yeah, our county clerks, it will make their job easier to have them have access to something similar. So I want to do that. Those things the Secretary of State has power over. The third thing I want to do is what I'm really good at. I am really good at disrupting systems and being a pain in the butt. So I want to use my civil civic discourse and nonviolent communication pain in the ass to work with the legislature to get ballot initiatives.
Oh, we
We
need
have
that so
enough
bad.
Hoosiers who want
Guys,
a
let me
ballot
just
initiative.
explain what ballot initiatives are because a lot of people think we already have it in
We
Indiana and we
don't.
lost it a few years
Well,
ago. That's
we do, but we don't. To get to the best of my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm sure comments will come. To get something on the ballot, it has to pass in the House, like for state House, twice, 2 sessions in a row to go on a ballot. So,
well,
for
we're not going to get
instance,
anything that's slightly democratic then
it's
on our
hard. It
ballot.
doesn't happen, and
Well,
that's the thing.
what it happens in other states is like if you get enough signatures from
Yep.
citizens, we're not
Yep.
leaving it to the power of the state house elected officials, but the people of the state.
Hmm.
That's how they're getting stuff put on the ballot, and that's
Yep.
issues. So
Yep.
like if we wanted to have marijuana, so we could
Yeah.
stop
Legalize
arresting people,
marijuana,
legalize marijuana.
reproductive
If we
health
wanted,
care.
yeah, we wanted women to be able to have the right to our health care,
Mhm.
stuff like that. We cannot even get it on the ballot right now because there's no way that's going to happen. There's no
There's
way
no way.
um our Republican supermajority is going to allow that because they run on that platform.
Yeah.
They're really proud that they've taken away our healthcare rights. So
Well, they've taken away a lot of our rights, and a lot of people don't realize it. So the
you're
first thing I
right,
want to
they
do
don't
is
realize
make
it.
sure that if we get X number of signatures, the following election, we can have ballot initiatives. I want it to be put in our constitution. It is a done deal. You cannot take this away. Now, if it were Blythe's perfect world and I got to say everything that happened, this is what I would want. But this is what I want to put on ballot initiatives. And then Hoosiers can decide, do we take
Yeah,
away straight ticket
should it be
voting?
we the people? When I talk to
Yeah.
Republicans, Blythe, Republicans who vote in Indiana, they think we have this because the Republican stance is states' rights. We should let the states decide. And I'm like, well, who in the state? Because right now it's just the
It's
supermajority
the
people who don't
legislature.
listen to what the majority of Hoosiers want. Do you
Yeah.
realize we don't have states' rights? We don't get to have more power, which I like. I agree with the Republican stance in some instances that the people should decide what's happening to them, but we don't
Yeah.
have that in Indiana.
Well, they don't
So,
practice what they preach is the
right.
problem. Which I try to be very good at. I try to be aware of it. And I want to be held accountable when I'm not. But so if I had it, if it were up to me and that were the case, I would put straight ticket voting on a referendum. Do we want it or do we not? Compulsory automatically registering people when they turn 18. Do we want it?
Love that.
Do we not?
Yes. Why we want that? I mean,
Do
I want that.
we, yeah, do we want to offer automatically mail-in ballots with all booklets that are voter booklets, or do we want to maybe opt in once and it's automatically you get it until you opt out? Do we want to make it so that you have to opt in to have your data sold by the Secretary of State's office or
Yeah.
any
So
other
Diego
state
Morales
agency?
gave our info
To the
to our
DOJ.
Yes, to the Department of Justice
Yep.
without even like asking whether that's what should happen, just immediately because he was
Mhm.
what I believe he was worried from getting bullied or get repercussions
He's
from
not worried about anything,
the
but
Trump
yeah, he's just
administration. I mean, he just immediately gave it over. So
yep,
Diego
no
Morales
questions
was
asked.
giving our information, our voter information over to the national government, even
Yep.
though in our rights he had every right to say no to that. He didn't.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
not just our names, folks. It's our name, our driver's license information, our home address, and the last four digits of our social security numbers.
Great.
It's problematic. And
Yay.
let's pretend it's not. Let's pretend it's harmless. I don't care. I should have had a say in that.
Yeah.
I
We the
paid
people
for
have
that
lost
driver's
so
license.
much power in our
Yes, we
state.
have no power. So I think with that one move, working with the legislature, again, it would be a challenge. It would I'm not saying it would be easy. Blythe isn't going to get elected and be like, it's gonna change. But I want to work with them to do that because I think that offers more power to voters. But I think those are issues that will get people to vote. Whether they agree with me or not, they can come and they can rage vote against it or they can rage vote for it, right? So just
I
making
just want to point out about Blythe. You're extremely smart. You are extremely organized. You being a woman and being told you're wrong most of your life, like as I have too, since we're in our 40s,
Mhm.
and knowing that you're not always wrong, but sometimes you are, has made you very talented and gifted and capable of handling this role of Secretary of State. I want people to realize that. You're going to learn and grow, admit your mistakes, do your best, keep finding out new information, and you're going to try to make the best plan to make Indiana one of the better states to vote in instead of one of the worst. I just want to point out your skills. You clearly have them. Um, I'm hoping that you can post after this show on Facebook, and maybe I don't know if you can do it on Instagram, but if you could post the video of when Diego Morales was going around and doing election town halls and
Mhm.
you stood up and you said, I think we should do this. What about this? This is a problem. This is a problem. You said it right to the
Well,
Secretary of
I
State's
put holes in his
face.
data. Their data points were terrible. So,
You called out
to,
his data as wrong.
yeah.
Most human beings do not have the courage to do that. I don't know whether I would have had the courage. I think maybe, but I don't know. I've never done anything like that. And I just want to thank you for that. And
Mhm.
I think that video shows your skills. And that's
Well,
really important for everybody to know because you're against a Bayh who's going to have a lot of money and influence, and he's great in many other ways. But I want everybody to see that video before they decide if you're a delegate, because that to me was like when I saw that, I couldn't believe it. I texted you after I saw it.
mhm.
I told you how awesome it was. I still
Thank
can't
you.
believe you did that. And I'm just really proud of you.
Well, thank you. And a lot of people are like, okay, so you get elected, are you gonna be able to handle that? I've been around toxic males my entire life and
Clearly,
I've
you
been
can handle a
undermined.
toxic man.
I am. But I'm also experienced in administrative work, which is what this should be is a boring administrative job. I worked at Lilly for several summers in college. I have an MBA, a master's in business administration that focuses on conscious capitalism, which is paying attention to the stakeholders, the you and I, the community, the environment of businesses, not just the shareholders, the people that make money. And I'm also, as a small business owner, I do administrative work like this every freaking day. 90% of a small business owner's job is administrative work and managerial work. I am an excellent manager. Probably not everyone will agree with that, but I am very fair. I can
No,
do
no,
objective work.
I've seen that myself because I run Harrison County Democrat Party's Facebook and Instagram. You have helped me organize. You
Oh,
send
yeah,
me
thanks.
almost daily. You send me follow this party, follow this Democrat thing,
That's part
follow
of
this.
my campaign strategy is trying
So
to increase party
and you
awareness.
told me you were going to do that before you announced you were going to run for Secretary of State,
Mhm.
and I'm watching you do it, and I'm watching you succeed in doing it.
Thank
So
you.
I've seen you implement a plan, follow through with the plan, learn and grow and change it as needed. So I just want everybody to realize I'm watching you in real time do the things you say you're going to do, and it has impressed me.
Thank you. And I also, I have had people physically tell me to my face that now that Beau is in the race, they're voting for him and not even going to look at me. That is the absolute worst thing you can do to any candidate, regardless of party, regardless of name. If you
So
are going
let's
to
talk
vote for
about
someone, Yeah,
Let's
voting for
talk about
someone
that.
solely on name,
I get it.
that is
I just
not
want, like,
that
this is
that's
where I
not
want to
being
have an honest
responsible.
conversation. I get it. I get why people are saying, I'm going to vote for Beau Bye because he has the name. His dad is
Mhm,
Evan Bye, correct? And he was a
mhm.
senator. And then his grandfather was
Birch.
stuff. I don't,
Mhm.
Birch
Yeah,
Bye. Was he
senator and
governor?
governors. Yeah.
Governor and senator.
I
And
believe
then,
Birch was also a senator.
okay. So he comes from a very powerful Indiana Democrat family. He's also a good person. He seems
He
like a
is a good
lovely
person. He's
person.
very nice. I have
Yes.
no ill will toward him at all or their
Right.
family.
And I don't
He's
know him as
very,
well
and
as
he's a
you.
fellow veteran. I can't
Yeah,
hate a
that's
fellow
cool.
veteran who's also standing up for democracy.
Yeah, and I'm honestly glad he's running. I'm glad he's running. However, if you are a delegate in this next election, it's going to be in what, July of
June
2026?
6th. June
June
6th.
6th. Okay, in
Mhm.
June 6th, 2026, each county Democratic Party will send so many delegates, and there'll be around 2,000 of them. And we
Mhm.
will go to the convention and we will vote for either you, Blythe Potter, or Beau Bye for the Democrat nomination of Secretary of State.
Or anyone
And
else. There
my
still cannot be other people that enter this race.
yes, or if other anybody else
Yeah.
joins in. So it could be more than the two of you.
Yes.
So if you are going to be a delegate, which I plan on being a delegate, if you're going to be a
Yay.
delegate, my hope is that you will research both candidates and that you will vote for which one matches your plans, your hopes for the state. And then I
Mhm.
hope whoever wins, the other person backs them and helps them campaign.
Oh, I would
Um,
100%.
and I believe Beau Bye has said, he said it to Tim Peck, not me, that he is going to come on Project Next. So we will get him on in the next few weeks. So you can listen to this episode and then you can listen to his episode. But my hope is let's give everybody a fair shot.
Yeah.
I'm hearing your fans being very upset. They're very upset about Beau Bye running. They're saying he's elite. He's too young. I believe he's going to be 30 next month. They're saying he wasn't brought up in Indiana enough. They're saying a whole bunch of things. And then they're kind of smearing him too, which I don't like because he seems like a perfectly lovely person. And then I'm seeing the other side say, well, Beau Bye has money. He has the name. He wants to stop bad things that Diego Morales is doing and that the supermajority Republicans are doing. So I understand the problem. I get it. But it upsets me what you're getting. The fact that people are telling you you should bow out makes me want to throw up.
I've
This
had
is
people
good.
literally tell me, you should just drop out of the race and run for something else. Like, I'm sorry, if I had that kind of status and name recognition, I, I, I mean, one of us could run for something else. Like, I'm not backing out of this. But here's the thing: choices are good.
Yes,
Nothing
that's
should
what I
just
was
be
going to
handed
say.
to anybody. But going in and voting for one person just because that's the expectation is the same thing of Republicans going in and voting straight party Republican because that's what they're expected to do. So, first of all, no one should be doing that. I don't care how you identify. I don't care if you're going to be delegate or not. Pay attention to everybody and be objective about it
Yes.
because do not
Don't
discount
just
my race.
blindly pick.
I
Don't
have an
just blindly
amazing
pick.
platform. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a great
So
platform.
that's my ask. That's why, and I'm going to treat everybody fairly. I'm openly letting everybody know I am friends with you and I love
Yeah.
you. So know that going in. Um but I look forward to getting to know Beau Bye and giving him a
As you
chance. I
should.
would like to interview him on this platform so that people can listen to both episodes,
Yeah.
learn, and then if they become a delegate, they can pick for who they identify with the most, not
Yeah.
who they think is going to win because of the name. But
Yeah.
also, I don't like the bullying happening. And I don't think you do either. Like I'm
I don't
seeing
like
like
bullying.
memes. I don't like the memes that are coming up that are mean about Beau Bye. I don't think that helps you. And I'm just calling, please don't bully this person, this human being. And please don't bully
Or me.
Blythe.
I get bullied a lot
Please
too.
don't bully Blythe. Let's do a fair, honest, open, hear people's platforms and go with the most. The buys do have a lot of money to spend on this campaign, My hope is that if you take this, they make some nice donations to your campaign because you have a lot of good things to say, and you've shown the ability to take on toxic people in
Yeah.
our Indiana politics and to be the voice of the common person, of the mom, of the Hoosier mom that
Yeah,
is
well,
very
and
upset.
women, we
And
outnumber
women.
men, and we are underrepresented. That's the second time I've actually said that word. We are underrepresented in politics, both as appointed and elected officials, and that's not fair either. It's not of the people for the people if we're only electing white men.
Yeah, let's talk about sexism a little bit. I really feel like if Biden would have stepped down and some attractive in his 30s or 40s white male would have stepped up to take his place, this election might have been differently. I really feel
Maybe.
because I saw the sexism when Kamala Harris was nominated, and it was totally weird how all of that happened. I
Well, I
acknowledge
don't think
that.
we have a true, I don't think, and this can go back to the redistricting and stuff too. Um, we don't actually have a good read on last year's election in
No,
Indiana
we really don't. We really
because
don't.
if you purge 585,000 voters in October and don't tell them, and a lot of those people go to vote but can't vote in November, and then we lose Senate, AG, and governor by 500,000 votes, do you think that's weird? I
Yeah.
think it's weird.
Yeah, we need to let more
I think
people
it's
vote
weird.
in this state because we're really a purple state.
We are. We
We really
absolutely are.
are.
But we're
We really
heavily gerrymandered and
gerrymandered and
manipulated.
voter
Yeah.
suppression.
And
Yeah.
it's a historical problem. There have been
Yeah.
complacent Democrats who've done the exact same thing in our past.
But what I want to
Did,
say, not just about the election and the results, the comments I heard from
Mhm.
Democratic men, the just constant on every little thing Kamala did that wasn't perfect is sexist and or racist. And if it would have been Andy Brashear, if it would have been somebody safer, I guarantee a lot of those men would not have made those comments. And I'm not blaming these men. I'm not telling them that they're horrible people. It's our culture. It's like
Yeah.
there's no judgment here. It's a let's acknowledge we have a cultural problem. We are still very sexist. And don't say we're not sexist. Have we had a woman president yet? Do we have about 50-50 in positions of power of men and women? No.
Nope.
So you cannot act like we don't have a sexist problem. Also, as a woman, about every day I face some sort of sexism in trying to be a leader.
Yeah.
And I imagine you also. And it's
Oh
not like I'm
yes.
going to be like whiny crying, oh, that's sexist. No, I'll just be better. But I do want to acknowledge I have a co founder, a white man, a doctor, very well educated, Dr. Timothy Peck. And he has said it frequently to me. Wow, Sarah gets attacks. I don't. We are saying the same thing. She is
Yep.
getting attacked because she is a woman and she is a safer person to go after. They gossip behind Tim's back, but they say it to me to my face or in
Yeah.
comments. And we have got to acknowledge that. But also, that's our superpower. That's your superpower, Blythe. You have been handling sexism your whole life and you've risen above it. And that has made it so you can stand in front of Diego Morales and you can say, listen, what you just said is wrong. Here's the proof. Here's what we should be doing. We should be making it easier for people to vote, not harder. So that's what I want to acknowledge here, you guys. It isn't that boohoo, poor us, we've had sexism. Now it's our superpower. Let's let us
Yeah.
lead. Let's let us lead some things and use the ability to not get mad when we're told we're wrong. Huh?
Oh, I
Right?
still get mad sometimes. I mean, I here's the thing. I will not always react or respond the way I probably should. And I think we need to bring humanity back into politics for all genders and all demographics because the pressure and expectation that to be a politician, which oftentimes they are underpaid. Look at our county clerks. Like one of the reasons I didn't run for county clerk, I can't afford to live on that salary. I can't take a pay cut
Wow.
like that, particularly in this economy. So elected officials are still humans we are going to make mistakes. We will end up with like
I make a
boogers
mistake
hanging out or hair out of place
every
or
day I
every
make a
day.
mistake.
And that's part of what I want to do with this too is yes, I've done extraordinary things. Not everybody has my education or my military history or my experience or my point of view, and that's okay. But I'm a goofball and I do dumb things and I say dumb things and
And you know what? That's okay. You're
I
allowed to
can
be you.
yeah, like this is going to be an
I'm allowed to be me
evolution.
too.
Yeah.
You and I can do a live and we can say something stupid and laugh about it and keep going because
Yeah.
we're trying to model you don't have to be perfect. And that is
Yeah.
so important in our environment because that's how bullies control us. They like to
Yeah.
say, "Oh, she messed up this one point. She said this thing." And it's like, "No, duh. Guess what? I'm human and I'm not perfect."
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
We do not hold enough value in people holding themselves accountable or being or saying, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Can I maybe rephrase that or can we have what we do with
so
Violet?
you're saying that if you made a mistake in your position of power, you would say, "I made a mistake and now I'm going to fix it." Instead of pretending you never made the mistake
Yeah.
and then we have no transparency or accountability and we just keep going acting like we're perfect and then the mistakes keep piling up.
I mean, I do. Kelly DeLong with Mad Voters has called me out on many things, and not in a mean way. She's like, that's not right. Like, oh crap. So I'll just correct it.
And
Like,
yeah, so learn and
I
grow.
don't. And also, I think people need to normalize getting involved in politics, not knowing enough or anything
Oh,
or
me
what
too.
to do,
Run for
because
something and know nothing about it
yeah,
and you
it's
will
okay
learn
to
as you
learn as
go.
you go
You
and
learn as you go. You're a
use
smart
me as a
person.
resource. I mean, I don't care if you're for or against me. Use me as a resource because I'm nothing but transparent. I don't like to gatekeep. I'm not going to hide things from people. We
I
all
don't
need
like
to
the
be able to
gatekeeping either.
succeed.
I did
We're in
that
a
episode
crisis right
yesterday.
now.
I did that episode yesterday calling out the Democrat mayor, Jeff Gahan, for making a mistake. And instead of owning up to the mistake and fixing it, it's lawsuit after lawsuit, just so much tax dollars. We don't know how much tax dollars have been spent on this mistake because he won't admit the mistake and he won't fix
Yeah.
it. He just keeps ignoring it. And you're here saying you're not going to do that. And we can look at your background and I can look at you as a person and seeing you go, whoops, I messed up. It's actually this. And guess what? I have to do that too.
Yeah, but if
And
you go
that's
that far enough, you're going to find instances of where I've made mistakes and dug my heels in and said, no, I didn't do that. That
we're
I've
human.
evolved too.
Sometimes
Yeah.
you don't know it's a mistake for a little while. It
Well,
takes
but also
time,
sometimes we're stubborn, right? Like
right?
this is part of the barrier for politics is people like, oh my God, I did some dumb stuff when I was at Ball State or when I was in my 20s or in my 30s or last year. Like we all do
You
dumb
that's
things. Some of
Well,
them are
that's
dumber
the
than
best way
others.
we learn is mistakes and also failure. Like I
Yeah.
learned so much from losing elections, way more than if I would
Oh
have won
yeah.
them. And we're so scared of failure in our culture. We act like it's a terrible thing when actually it's one of our strongest things we can put ourselves through. It's not fun, but you
Yeah.
grow and you become braver,
Yeah.
through your failures, especially if you can look back. And they're not always failures. Like I don't see me losing State House as a mistake on my part. I knew going into it was heavily gerrymandered and I probably didn't have a chance of winning, but I called out the issues and I pushed things for the better. I know
Yeah.
me running, even though I didn't win, helped, just like you running and those things helped. So, we just can't allow the bullies, the people in power, the top, the money, we can't allow those people to act like we're awful and that we should be silenced, which they try to silence us, right? I mean,
Hmm.
don't isn't that what they want of you? The top people that don't care about you, that just want you to go away. They don't want you to shine a
Oh
light
yeah.
on how
There's a
the
lot of people who'd
Democratic Party
prefer I
could be
go
better.
away.
They want you to go away. Same with me. We have that in common. And you know what both of us have done? We've both grown and become strong leaders on our own so that they cannot take us down. I
Yeah.
fully believe there are some people in Indiana Democratic Party that would get me out of there if I hadn't built myself up to have enough people support me. Don't you think? Same
Well,
with you?
I do, but I think I was talking to Cindy Worth about this. She's running for Congressional District 6. She's also finishing her PhD, like as we speak.
Wow.
She's an anthropologist, but she's talking about like her women are oppressed. Even you and I, right? Even as middle class white women in America, we are still oppressed. And that is what the patriarchy or the sexism, that's what that
They
looks
want us
like.
to get married, listen to
Yeah. But
our
women do it to
husbands
each
make
other
the
too.
decisions, our
Yes.
husbands be in charge of the money, our husbands vote for us, we have children, we be meek and kind, and we let them make the decisions for us. And when we're strong and powerful and make our own money and do our own things, we're kind of shamed.
Yeah.
And this, it's like I was following that to some extent until I like have my daughter, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want my daughter to live like that. And I'm like, I
Yeah.
need to rethink how I'm modeling for her what a happy, healthy individual woman looks like, you know?
Yeah. Well, I think that's part of what we run into with party politics or just people. I mean, everything is political. Our friend groups in middle school and elementary school, it's politics. It's just a
It's all
different type of
political.
politics, right? So women doing that to other women, I mean,
There's a lot of
it's
shaming.
a lot to unlearn and it's going to take a lot to change it. We're not going to change it overnight, but you and I
Well, we
can
are.
model that change.
And things are better than when my mom was my age, for some extent, except for the fact that we don't have women's healthcare rights anymore. We are pushing it.
Well,
Things
but
are
yeah,
getting
I mean,
better.
maybe in some ways, I don't know. I don't know. I mean,
I
it's right
know.
before I was born that we were even allowed to have our own checking account and credit card.
Right. But we haven't.
Well, for
I
now,
think the fact that we don't like to admit it, we want to act like everything's fine and equal because we don't want
yeah.
to play the victim. And I'm not trying to play the victim. I have a wonderful, beautiful life. I'm very fortunate, but
But it could
things
still
could
be
still get
easier.
better. It could still be better.
It's
Yeah.
not even
And
a
also
better,
at the
it just
same
could be
time,
easier.
in America, we have a lot of freedoms that a lot of women don't have and across the world. That doesn't mean we shouldn't push for more, but also we should acknowledge we're lucky. It's like all the things can be true, you
I
know?
mean, we're losing. Part of this race is too, like I'm actively losing my rights. They're trying to make it with the SAVE Act that's still in the Senate. They're trying to take away my right to vote unless I get my birth certificate changed.
Oh yeah, with
And that's
the name change
problematic.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's we're kind of running out of time here. I know you've got things going, so maybe we just need to do another episode in a few weeks.
We can do a part
If you
two.
We can do a part two. Can you just tell us a couple things about Diego Morales? Because I'm going to say right now, regardless of who wins this election for Secretary of State on the Democrat side, whoever wins will be a much, much better than who we have right now, Diego Morales. Can you just name some of the proven things that he has done with this powerful position?
He has proven that he is not competent for this position or to represent anybody in the state of Indiana. He's given out many no bid contracts. He's given his family members, the nepotism thing is atrocious, job, six-figure jobs.
And we
Um,
don't even know what those jobs are. Like he's made up positions,
his
right? And some of
brother-in-law, I
them.
think, is overseeing the automobile licensing or the dealership licensing. I know I should remember this off the top of my head.
That's
Um,
okay.
he's been traveling the world, maybe not on the taxpayer's dime. As a candidate, he used campaign funds to buy himself a Toyota RAV4. As an elected official, he's used it. My God, where are these words coming from? He's used our taxpayer dollars to buy himself a $90,000 vehicle. Um, just in the voter purges, right? Again, voter purges need to happen. I'm not saying I would never purge people, but let's give them notice and give them time to update it or fix it and not do it right before. Like
Yeah,
have
I
better
mean, I get what they're
parameters
saying.
around
Like
it.
maybe people have moved and they haven't
Yeah, people
updated the
die,
registry.
people move.
We could do it a better way than the way he's been doing
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Yeah.
just it's more transparent, it's more honest. And all of us, I was raised Republican. I voted Republican until I was in my late 20s. Like, I know what it means to be a Hoosier. I know what we were raised with. I know the lies we've been told by the Republican Party for probably my entire life. And one of the biggest lies is that Democrats cause all the problems. That's not true. I'm not saying we've caused zero problems.
Especially when we don't have the power right now.
We've not made any policy in Indiana for decades, like a long time. But we have got to find a way to bring some trust back into politics. And I want to be that person to help make those changes because if we can't trust our leadership, we're screwed. And
And like
look at where we
it,
are. It is a crisis. All
both
parties,
parties
not just
are,
Democrats and
yeah,
Republicans,
Democrat,
independent, Green Party. Jill Stein is corrupt AF, and I'm an environmentalist and don't wouldn't vote for her.
right. Yeah, both parties are favorability. They're low.
It's
The Republican
terrible.
Party's low, the Democrat Party's low. And it's
It's
because of what we're
terrible.
talking about. It's because of politicians not admitting mistakes and fixing them and acting like they're perfect when it's very blaringly obvious they're making huge mistakes. So
Yeah.
we need mentally fit people in office. That's why I
And
did a
that's a
mentally fit
historical
episode
problem.
with
I'm
you.
not just blaming
Yes.
current people. This has started since before you and I were born. Like this is the status quo politics in our state and our country. And that's why we need something that is not status quo, that's not historically, oh, we're going to do this because this worked in the past. Dude,
Yes. I
we
get
don't
that a
use
lot.
outhouses anymore. We update our phones, we update our apps, we update our
So you're
cars,
saying, are you
update our
saying you're more
politics.
progressive? Because doesn't progressive mean you're open to new ideas? Like, let's do the best
I'm open to
thing.
new
We don't
ideas.
have to
I
do the
don't
same old,
like
same
them.
old.
No, I
Right.
mean, change sucks. Change is not
It's
comfortable.
hard.
I will
Change is hard.
I will wear a pair of pajama pants because they are comfortable for long enough that there's a hole I can put my head through. And I'm not joking. Like, I literally just threw away a pair of maternity pants. They are still sitting in my trash can in my bathroom right now, last week, like 2 days ago. I don't change easily either.
But you're willing to
My
do what's
daughter is
best to
over
save
five
our
years old.
state.
That's how old they are. But
Yeah.
I know that Indiana needs something different. I want to be that voice and that change, and I want to help plant that seed to show other people and other politicians and other areas of leadership we can still stand by our party values but do things differently. And we
So if
can
you're
benefit
listening,
everybody, not just Democrats.
yes. So you're for the people, which we totally
Yes.
need. All the
I
people. Who
took an
cares how they
oath
vote?
for
Who
the
cares if they don't
people.
vote?
I
Yeah.
That didn't change when I started running into politics.
If
I still care.
If you are listening to this and you'd like to support Blythe Potter's campaign, how could they do that? Can they go to Act Blue? What do they type in? How
Yep.
can they help you?
Go to my website is blythepotter.com, BlythePotter, like the wizard. I'm on at Blythe Potter IN on most of the social media apps. Reach out, email me, donate if you can. I'm
Are
real
you on Act
grassroots
Blue?
here.
Some
Yep,
people
I've got
just
X
go to
Blue.
Act Blue. Just type in
Yeah.
your name for Act Blue. Yeah, so follow Blythe. She's on a lot of the social media platforms. She will get back to you too. That's another thing. You don't really have a lot of gatekeeping. You're pretty open to talk to anybody. You don't this is another thing I love about you. You care about everybody. They don't have to have like a high social status for it to mean more. I've noticed
Yeah.
that as I'm gaining recognition by doing Project Next and stuff. I'm noticing people that used to not speak to me speaking to me, and I'm like, wait a minute, why didn't you speak to me when I was just a regular former teacher or whatever, you know what I mean? So I like that about you. You care about everybody. Um, we'll do this again because I want to have like a full discussion about how do we get people that haven't been paying attention to politics? How do we get Republicans that believe pretty conservative and decent ideas that have been voting Republican, but maybe are now starting to see, I don't really like what has happened to this Republican Party.
Yeah.
How do we get those people to come in without yelling at them and shaming them and guilting them? How do we welcome them? I think
Yeah.
that's a really important discussion because again, if we're going to win, if you become our nominee and you're going to win in Indiana, we're going to need to get a bunch of people that used to vote Republican to switch. And I think a lot of people on the far left say they say screw them. We're just going to get the people that haven't been voting, and that's not enough. It's
No,
really
we need
not.
it because
We
this
need
doesn't just affect those people, and that's the problem. When we cast a vote, we're like we're voting for the well-being of our communities, not just the 30% or whatever percentage of the population of the registered voter population who are voting. It's all
and
6,900,000 whatever odd people in the state of Indiana. We need to pay attention to
yeah,
them too.
it's a problem. I'm seeing a lot of problems in Indiana Democrats behind the scenes. I'm
Yeah,
seeing extremists kind of like bully people that aren't as extreme or be like, if you don't agree with everything I'm thinking, I'm going to do this to you. And it's like, that's really stupid. And we kind of need our strong people to
Yeah.
stand up and say, that's not moral. That's not how we treat human beings. And maybe those people shouldn't be in charge, in my opinion. The most extreme people that are bullies to other people trying to get involved in Indiana politics, we shouldn't be bullying them and yelling at them. We should be respectful and loving. So it is something that I am concerned about because I see it a lot since I'm heavily involved in Democrat Indiana politics. So don't you see it too? Like it is a
Oh,
problem.
I see kind of the opposite where I'm just getting no attention at all or being uninvited or disinvited to things.
Ugh. Well,
That's
oh,
fun.
I'm glad you mentioned that. You are invited to Harrison County Democrats monthly meeting. You will be in Harrison County on November 11th, which is great because that's
Veterans
Veterans Day and you are
Day.
a veteran.
Uh-huh.
Harrison County Democrats are going to do a blood drive with at the VFW in Cordon. You can go to the Red Cross's website right now if you're in that area, and you can sign up to be a blood donor for that day. It's going to be from 11 to 4 on November 11th. Blythe, you're going to come down once you have time. You're going to drive over
I'll
here,
be down there
which is
around
like,
around 1 or so.
that's great. I'm going to meet you there. We're going to do some episodes for Project Next. We're going to do some episodes for Harrison County Democrat stuff. And then you're going to come to our meeting. And our
Mhm.
meeting's going to start at 6 this time at the Harrison County Community Foundation, where we're going to give you all the information you need to know if you want to run for something in your county. And so you can actually help us with that meeting if you're okay with it and
Yes.
meet
Oh,
people.
absolutely. That's part of this too. I want to help get precinct chairs, precinct vice chairs, delegates, candidates in every county filling up these
Yep.
ballots. That's part of
Yep.
this. That's part of my mission.
So we're going to do just a training session for an hour before our regular meeting from 7 to 8, which you will get some time to speak and then you will get to meet everybody. Yesterday was our meeting for October and we had 41 people come, which is the most we've ever had. It's also, I'm pretty sure it's the most any county in District 9, which is 18 counties in Southern Indiana, has had. So I'd just like to give props. We might have 0 Democrats elected in our county, but we have the best turnout now at our meetings. So if that shows you change is coming,
Yeah.
and we do that by being very warm and welcoming to everybody. We don't say like you need to think what we think to come to this meeting. It's like you need to care about people in the community and want our community to do better. You're invited. Come. We will listen to you.
I'm glad you said that. I have to tell people I've been to over 30 different counties now, most of them rural counties. And I have to say, I am nervous every single time I step through that door because I am new, I am unknown, I am not one of them. I have been blown away at the kindness and how engaged people are. All of our rural counties are really doing great job getting new people engaged and involved into the meetings and running for office and running for PCs. Like I cannot tell you how almost therapeutic this has been just to be able to
I
see
agree.
the work
That's so
our
important.
counties are doing. So if you
When
are
you
nervous
think
to
the
get
world is
involved,
divided, yeah,
yeah,
you think
it's
we're divided. You think the real world is scary. No, 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 no. That's the algorithms feeding us fake
yeah,
information to profit off of our fears, hate, and division. When you actually go out and meet people in the community, most people are wonderful, beautiful people, regardless of
yeah,
how they vote. And we always have to remember that because trolls hurt.
yeah,
Trolls
they
hurt.
do.
And it can make you more divided. And it's like, don't believe the trolls. That's not real life. And it's so hard to run a media company about unity when you're trying to stop fear, hate, and division. When fear, hate, and division sells, it gets
Yeah.
followers, it gets views. So it's hard to not fall into that trap of like, well, how do I get people to watch my content? It's so hard. We have to constantly recognize they want to push our fears. They want
Yeah.
the division, which gross. It's so gross. Yeah. So you should not feel scared to come and meet us. I told everybody yesterday that you were coming, and we are all
Yeah.
very excited to have you. And we love you and we thank you that you're running for Secretary of State. We will also welcome Beau Bye. We would love to have him at one of our meetings and he can talk. We're going to do everything, open and equal and just find out exactly what the candidates stand for. And then if you want to be a delegate in June 6th and go to Indy and the convention and you want to vote for either Blythe or Beau or whoever else runs, that's your right. So let's do it. We the people. Follow Blythe, you guys. Please share this show with especially
Yes.
anybody in Indiana, Democrats in Indiana that might not know about Blythe because she doesn't have the famous last name and she doesn't have $1 million to spend on her campaign. So she does need more of a grassroots type approach. So $5, $10 will help her out or whatever you can spare. And then name recognition. I think even more than $5, somebody in Indiana telling 5, 10 people about you, it is
It's
worth
very
more than
helpful.
like $10.
Share
You know
my
what I mean?
pages with your people. Invite your friends and family to follow my page. That helps candidates so
It
much.
does help candidates so much. You're so right. Yes. Yeah, so she's on social, share the socials and just let people know what's going on in Indiana because most people only follow national politics. They don't really
Yeah.
know what's happening in Indiana. Don't assume that your Republican friends know the bad things that Republicans are doing in Indiana. Most have no idea.
Most elected officials in Indiana that are Republican don't know what the Republicans are doing. We saw it happen right here with SB1.
True that. True
No
that. They
clue.
don't know what they
Our
voted
commissioner's
for.
like, who do we blame on this local income tax increase? And I was like, not the Democrats.
Girl, I asked my friend who's a commissioner in Harrison County if she knew about the gerrymandering stuff going on. She had no clue. They're
Yep.
not seeing what we're seeing. They don't know. They don't
Yep.
know what we know. So
These
unless
people
we
are
take
just normal
time,
people like us.
they're just
They
they're
are
just living their lives.
clueless.
Their algorithm's not showing them this. So unless we
Yeah.
tell them, they will
Hmm.
continue to not know. Right?
Yeah. You're
Yeah.
right. You're
Okay.
right.
I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
Keep it up. I
Thank
am
you.
here as a friend, so message, text, call, whatever, if you need me. I'm really proud of the organizing you're doing. I see it. I see it
Thank
down
you.
here in Harrison County. I see it helping. So you are helping the state. I kind of challenge anybody that has some power in Indiana Democrats to just be fair. Don't just assume Beau Bye's better because of the name and the money. Let's go ahead and let the people, the 2,000 or so delegates, let's let them decide. So please, if you're sharing Beau's stuff, also share Blythe's stuff. Please don't bully either people. These are human beings. I'm very thankful Beau Bye's running. I think competition is good. Let's just remember people are human beings and both of you would be so much better than Diego Morales.
Oh my God.
I
My
mean,
my napkin would be better than Diego Morales.
yeah, nobody would be better because he's doing damage. He's making it harder to vote. He's making it
Oh,
harder
he
to vote. So if he
is.
just left things the same, it would be
Oh,
better. so so yeah. So let's just kind of be morally fit, be empathetic, be moral. Be moral. If you've posted mean things about Beau or mean things about Blythe, please take them down. They affect human beings' mental health. It would hurt me if I saw a funny joke at my expense on why somebody should vote against me. It would hurt me. So let's just realize these are human beings, even human beings that grew up richer than you. I think sometimes we forget that people that have more money than us are human beings too. I think we just kind of let jealousy, you know what I mean? I'm seeing some
mhm.
jealousy and but also acknowledge your platform is fantastic and you as a woman and a strong woman and a veteran and a business owner and all the things that you make you very qualified to run for Secretary of
Yeah.
State. So let's just like look at that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
A
having me.
lot of a lot of people commented. Thank you to everybody that commented. I'm sorry I didn't get them. I just really wanted to highlight how like badass you are, Blythe Potter.
Thanks.
And we'll have you back on again. Thanks for doing the Who's Left This Week show. That's a long show to
Yes.
do.
It
Thanks for
was,
doing that with Scott.
I think that
I
was
think
2 weeks
sometimes it's
ago.
2.5 hours. I think sometimes it's 2.5
Yeah, we
hours.
went like 3 hours.
I think if I'm gonna do it, I'll be like, I'll do it from this half an hour to this half an hour.
Well, it's interesting. Like it's kind of like this where we just like get going on. There's so much.
I know you and I
There's
could
so
talk
much.
4 hours, no problem.
Yeah.
4 hours, complete interesting content. So I get it. But I'm proud of Scott for a show and I'm thankful that you're on it. I'm thankful for your husband. I need to get your husband on sometime. I want to talk about environmental issues with him.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And just share the show, everybody. Thank you so much, you guys. Please review us. If you watch us on listen to us on Apple Podcast, review us or Spotify or YouTube or Facebook. And also you can always invite your friends. That helps. Do that for Blythe, do that for Project Next. Um, we're trying to get the word out and just save the
Yes.
state and the country. That's all. No
Yes.
big goals or anything.
Yeah.
Any last words before we get off? And I'm sure you're busy and thank you for coming.
No, thank you for having me.
All right, you guys. See you all tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm doing a show with Christopher Machin, Republican, and I'm going to talk about how Democrats see Trump versus how Republicans see Trump. Let's just get it all out so that we are aware, so we know how to talk to each other in loving ways without getting in a fight, you know? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that one. All right, you guys.
Yay.
Love you all. Bye.
Bye.